So today in this class we are going to discuss about the servo motors. Okay, so there are two types of servo motors, both the DC and AC. Okay, in DC servo motor we are going to discuss field control DC motor, field control DC motor, and armature controlled DC motor. And later on we are going to discuss about two-phase AC servo motor. Alright, so first of all let's take field control DC motor. This one, field control DC motor. So as shown in the figure, it is the field control DC motor. So as you all know or are very well aware about the DC motor, in any type of machine, that is the motor, if you go in the motor, whether it is a AC motor or the DC motor, there are two parts. In AC motor there are armature and the field winding, and the DC motor also there is a armature and the field winding. But the armature and the field winding, there is a bit difference between a DC and the AC motor, that the armature winding in the DC motor is at rotor side and the field winding is at stator side. Alright, whereas in AC motor the armature winding is at stator side, whereas the field winding is at rotor side. Alright, so these are two windings are there in the DC motor. Alright, so we have mentioned over here, this is the VF, the supply voltage to the field winding, RF the resistance of the field winding, LF it is the inductance of the field winding. Alright, and if you come to the armature side, this is the armature side on the right hand side. RA is the resistance of the armature winding and LA is the inductance of the armature winding, and this is the motor. Alright, this is the motor. In this you can see that this JM and FM. What is JM and FM? JM is simply your moment of inertia of the motor. Alright, and FM is what? FM is your viscous friction of the motor shaft. Alright, so and here theta m is given. This is obviously the angular shift resulting in the motor shaft. Alright, and the corresponding angular velocity will be omega m. Alright, so these are the parameters of your field control DC motor. So we have written all these parameters over here. VF is the input voltage, the field winding, RF is the resistance of the field winding, LF is the inductance of the field winding, JM is simply your moment of inertia at the motor shaft, FM is your viscous friction, and omega m is obviously your angular velocity. Alright, so in this we have make armature current we have kept constant. Alright, armature current is what? IA is constant. IA is constant. So the relationship between the developed torque relation between developed torque TM should be the developed torque over here, and the field current IF, and field current IF, okay, is given by simply the relation between the developed torque and the field current IF. So the torque will be directly proportional to the field current over here. Okay, it is controlling the torque, and here TM will be equals to KF into IF, where KF is motor torque constant. So if you take the revision of the DC motor, then you should find out that the torque of the DC motor simply directly depends upon the current. Alright, so you need a bit of a revision for that. If you go through that, then you will be easily understood if you are unable to understand now. Okay, so let's move further. The equations derived from here, the related dynamic equations are, and here we will write down the corresponding Laplace transform equation. The corresponding Laplace transformed equations. Okay, so first let us write down. So from the circuit diagram shown above, you can easily, when you apply the KVL on the left side, that is on the field winding side, you can in the closed loop you will easily get this equation. VF, that was the input voltage, RF into IF, the resistance into the current, field current flowing through that, plus the voltage through the inductance should be what? LF DIF over dt. This must be the equation over there. Okay, so if you are going to take the Laplace of this, you will get what? VF S, this will be equals to RF IFS, plus, since there is a differentiation, so the Laplace of derivative is simply S LF IFS. Okay, so this is the equation you get from here. So if you mention the equation number, then you can make this as equation number 1, this as equation number 2. Alright, let's move further. From the torque equation, you should get torque. The mechanical torque diagram should be what we have derived, Kf into If. This we have derived just now. The Laplace of this equation, if you are going to take, then this will give you Tm Kf IFS. Okay, this will be equation number 3 over here. Okay, move further. Torque is also given by, when the moment of inertia is given over there, then Jm d square theta m over dt square plus Fm, okay, the friction over there, theta m over dt. Okay, so this is also the torque, mechanical torque, and the Laplace transform of this equation is given by Tms is equals to, since this is the double derivative, so the Laplace of this should be S square Jm theta m S plus, there is single derivative S Sm Fm, sorry, theta m S. Okay, so this will be equation number 4. Alright, now move further. Tm, this should be Jm d, we have taken theta m over here. Alright, what is theta m? This is simply the angular shift we have taken, and when we are going to take omega m, then this equation will turn up into Jm d omega m over dt plus Fm omega m. Okay, and the Laplace transform of this equation will give you Tms, this will be equals to S Jm omega m S plus Fm omega m S. This will give you equation number 5. Alright, so this must be clear to everyone. Now since we are we have to drive the transfer function of this DC servo motor, so we will draw the block diagram. Okay, we will draw the block diagram using the above equations. So first of all, let's take the equation number, this one, equation number 2, equation number 3, and equation number 4. And we will relate theta ms, that is the angular shift, and the input voltage on the field winding, okay, and we will draw the block diagram of this. So just keep in mind all these three equations, just do remember these equations, just see how we are going to draw the block diagram and how we are going to relate the input and the output over here. So from the above equation we have drawn the block diagram as shown over here. We should maintain this as figure number 1 and this as figure number 2. In both of these figures, if you are going to relate the above equations, then you are easily going to find out how these block diagrams are being drawn. So if you are going to see over here in this equation number 2 shown over here, you can easily see that this is in the block diagram. You can see over here, this is the IFS and this is VFS. Simply the output upon the input, that is the IFS upon the VFS. From this equation you can see that IFS and IFS, if you are going to take the common from here, what we and divided by VFS, that is the output upon the input. All right, output upon the input, what you will get 1 upon RF plus SLF. Okay, you are going to get this. Okay, if you are going to come in here, then you can see that output, that is a TMS upon the IFS. What you will get? TMS upon IFS, you will get KF only. Same here. Come to this equation, equation number 4. Output, that is theta ms. Here also theta ms. Take this common over here, and theta ms upon dms, you are going to get 1 upon jms square plus fms. Alright, so this is just the equation we have derived from all these three equations. Further, you are going to reduce these equations, then just we have combined all these three block diagrams, the kf over here upon s into rf plus slf. We have taken the common s from here, okay, and we have drawn this block diagram. Okay, so here very easily we can find out the transfer function relating theta ms and input VFS very easily. So the transfer function relating the output, that is theta ms, and the input, that is VFS, is given by from the block diagram. Just from the above block diagram you can see theta ms upon VFS output upon the input. Just write down this KF upon S into RF plus SLF into S into JM plus FM. Okay, so this was equation number 5. This is equation number 6. So equation number 6 is simply the transfer function of the above relations, alright, of the DC servo motor, when we have taken theta m, not the omega m. If we are going to take omega m, then further let's draw the block diagrams. There is a very slight difference between both of them, and the difference if you want to see over here, then we just going to make a slight difference. I'm just going to draw that. So there is a slight difference between the above equations, above block diagram, and these block diagram, where we have taken angular velocity omega m. All right, we have just going to remove one s from the above block diagram. As you can see that here we have js square plus fms. We are going to remove this one s from here, and the same in this block diagram, the s as written over there in the above block diagram, we have removed this, and we have taken omega ms and omega ms instead of theta ms. So this is just a difference between the above two block diagrams, and the transfer function of this block diagram, when we are going to take omega ms, should be omega ms upon Vfs. This comes out to be what? This comes out to be Kf divided by Rf plus SLF into Sjm plus Fm. So this is what was that equation? Equation number 6. After this is equation number 7. So you can easily see that how we have calculated the transfer function of the field control DC motor. Okay, in the next class we are going to discuss about the servo motor, that is the second type, that is the armature control DC motor. This was the field control DC motor. In the next lecture we are going to discuss about the armature control DC motor. So thank you, thanks a lot.